What is up, guys? It's Kuno here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Muffman with 2Z's here. Today I just wanted to go on a little bit of a rant about Bojack and Gekishin Sqaudra and Gekishin Sqaudra balancing as a whole. I'm going to show you guys. I just played a match just literally like today because I wanted to get the last, 5 here, right? And it was a terrible match for me. 3-1. I didn't do that well. Only 3 that I did not do that well at all. This Frieza who was with me on top lane, also it was just like a struggle fest playing against Kid Goku and Team Son Gohan, Ultimate Gohan. Like literally he just went full attack and he just literally at any inconvenience targets me. I get elbowed into them and I perma die pretty much. Literally it's just you honestly he's better off running like prepare to die against Bojack of all people. But yeah, it's just like I get elbowed by Son Gohan here, Ultimate Gohan, and then Kid Goku can just Noibo or Kamehameha me, and I'm dead. I'm in their team pretty much, their duo zone. I'm in their side of the map or whatever that they're pressuring, and I just die. So yeah, really bad game. It was super sucky and terrible. Now, I want to talk about Bojack as a character. As a dedicated Bojack player, he's the character I have the most elims on. 642 right there. Just, can't say it here. 642. Then blah, 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 blah. I think 86 MVPs on this character. I did do some upgrading. Got us some more Frieza shards there. Upgraded my Goku. And then upgraded... Wasn't you... Android 17, yeah. So I got that as well. I used this. Could have got Kid Goku. I used it on Frieza shards. So next one will be tier 3 here. Probably just throw it on Bardock low key. Anyhow, let's talk about Bojack. I don't know this guy's win rates, but somehow they must, I guess, be like at an ideal 50% because they don't ever want to change this guy's kit. So looking at this character, he gets blown up early game. He's literally like Kale, but worse. Now, Kale, granted, I believe she has less health, but her damage on these skills can be insane. It is insane. Sorry, not can be. It is. Right? And then her ultimate, you don't really use it for boss, but you can. But most of the time, you're using it as a, break the glass emergency button that annihilates people. And it can absolutely win you a lane early game. Absolutely. Now, let's look at Bojack. What does he have? Okay. Transform. Yep, level 7. Okay, cool. Galactic Assassin, so you have subordinates that follow up attacks. So when I do a buster, I'll get a follow up from a random assassin. I think there's actually an order to it. It's not just random, but could be wrong. And they don't really do too much early game. They're like tickle monsters. So okay, he's a zoner character, right? Like Kale. First off, Galactic Buster, super simple. 2 energy blast forward, explode on impact. It is a good snipe ability. It's an AoE snipe, which is pretty nice. It can really get you some nice snipes. I don't have any clips of this that I have, so I can't show any, but I assure you, if you go watch somebody who plays Bojack at a moderately high level, at least like A rank and above, which is far and few in between, you'll see this. You can't get snipes with this. I think it's a really good ability. I've had chats with people in the Gekishin Sqaudra Discord server, and they were kind of surprised about Galactic Buster being good, and I was like, yeah, pretty good. I said this a while ago, but Cosmic Bloom, this ability in tier 1 and tier 2 do nothing. Maybe you could say, oh, well, Muffin tier 2, it actually does something, but tier 1, it is absolutely useless. 100% of the time, I'm always going for Buster and Thread early game. Always Buster Thread. Bloom takes so much to work with early game, and early game Bloom, you get, I think, 4 mines that cover about 2 inches collectively. So, I don't know who needs to hear this, Toshi or the other director. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. Please trash this ability or rework it so it's actually good. This does nothing at tier 1 and tier 2. The only time it is actually semi-good is tier 3. But even then, the ability needs like another ability to activate it. Or it's a set amount of time. But guess what? If I'm this Goku right here and I could just counter buy and just get LBJ and just choo out of here. If the enemy Bojack doesn't explode the balloon. Now, skill 3. Skill 3 used to be good. It actually used to be solid. But now they made it this super, like, dumbed down, like, tickle ability. Like, first off, this skill does, like, no damage. It's just a pure debuff at the end of the day. It does some little ticks of damage, but it's not... It's not blowing your socks off, okay? It's not doing much. Issue 2. This easily gets countered by any AoE ability. For example, if I pop this, and let's say, for example, like a Cooler or a Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, or hell, even a Super Saiyan God Vegeta, or a Super Saiyan God Goku. Low-key could say even a Kefla. If a Kid Buu, if any of these characters ult, they destroy my 3, and it is completely gone, and the value from movement speed down, which is like 10 or 15%, and the no vanish is completely gone, because it's a big AoE that covers this. Most commonly it just gets nuked by Cooler, Super Saiyan Vegeta, any character with like a big AoE ability. Spirit Bomb, although Spirit Bomb takes a while to come down now, so. Hell, even Son Gohan, once he gets in the second part of his ultimate. Even Deborah maybe, okay? Zamasu, like, even Daimaku, Ultimate Gohan. Like, literally any AoE ability that's well-timed looking for Psycho Thread, you can just annihilate this ability, and then it gets close to 0 value. Definitely, like, 0 damage. And they thought, oh, well, we're going to take away, you know, the 40% movement speed down, which is what made it good, because you catch out somebody, and they can do little to nothing, even vanishing. Like, they're stuck, right? Who does the no vanish really affect? Like, truly. Like, it affects Kefla because of her passive. But guess what? She just has full voltage. And she can pretty much just ignore that, you know, small movement speed down buff with the full voltage and just move. Same with, like, Pod Frieza, right? He's actually solid now. He just does Imperial Decree. Guess what? Moves out of it. No issue. Now, yep, you can't use LBJ, but at the same time, as long as you have some kind of movement ability, or also a zone that's better than Bojack, or a snipe. For example, if I catch this Kid Buu and a Psycho Thread, all he has to do, arm ball, leg hook. Or or just leg hook. Now, the issue is with that, for the Kid Buu at least, right? While the Psycho Thread's going off, you can't arm ball yourself, so you get more range. So it kind of has to be like the setup for Kid Buu. But still, if you hit a leg hook and you've got it, you know, level 2 early game, you probably could hit me. Can't even lie. If you're a, like, sensible Kid Buu player. You just hit that, I get immediately pulled to you, and you can just noisy chest drum after my Psycho Thread's done, take my attacks, destroy my HP bar, and I'm gone. Like, look at all these new characters. Like, I can just get zoned by Frieza. Just rock, grasp me. And guess what? I'm zoned. Hell, even ult me. Zoned. There's nothing I can do. Kid Goku. Kamehameha me. I just played against Kid Goku. I'd get Kamehameha'd, my health bar would, like, drop by half. Nuibo. I didn't get hit by this, but I saw my teammate, my Pod Frieza, getting hit by that, and his health bar was getting chunked in half. Or you could just rock, paper, scissors, and you dash. Like, there's 2 sniping abilities here, and then you could just dash here, or you just ult me. Or you just do this, dash. I don't think this counts as a vanishing step. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So I think you could literally just do that to counter Psycho Thread. Bulma. I don't really play against any Bulmas. I don't see any. I think she's actually not bad, but I don't really see anybody play her. Anyhow, she also has an AoE snipe like Bojack. Literally just reskin skill. I think you can low-key try and do something with this against the Psycho Thread. Capture Shelter just completely, like, negates really the whole intended purpose of Psycho Thread is to catch somebody out. Isolate them. By doing this, you give yourself cover, and even if you are isolated, you have protection from damage. So it's just like, okay. And then her ultimate needs no explanation. Just easily counter it. Look at God Vegeta. He can just immobilize me, Divine Zone, Prominence Blow forward. Or God, you know, God's trying to attack if he needs to. Okay? Can you get off the screen? Thank you. God Goku. He can out-snipe me with God Shoot, Dragon Enhance. And then he can ult if he needs. Or he can just hit an Arcane Shot and snipe me. But most of the time, he just out-snipes with the God Shoot. Because it's it has more longevity than, of course, Galactic Buster, right? Cool. Kefla. Now, she can't use her passive, but she can just full voltage. Or ult me. Okay, cool. Bardock. He can, if he gets close enough, he can just do this. I'm cooked. If he doesn't hit that, if he doesn't hit his taunt here, I'll just charge. Literally just has to charge. And there's not really much I can do. Cool. Vegito. Just hit a counter and you win. Literally, I've gone against Vegito so many times as Bojack player. If he hits a counter and he knows who to target, which you should be targeting to Bojack if you're in a match with one, because it's literally just free lane if you can kill him and not let him do anything. As long as you just hit a counter on the guy, movement speed down by a lot, and then you just dodge toward me, Spirit Sword, and it's over, right? Gone. Done. Broly doesn't actually really have that many tools. His only tool is Stomp. If he doesn't hit his Knuckle, which definitely it's hard to hit on a Bojack, I'd say, because of the zone, the range. You have to hit a Stomp. If you can't, you roar again, try and hit another Stomp. So, not much for Broly. Gohan, he'll just abuse you. Vegeta, all you have to do is Barrier Wall, and then just use these two abilities to get close. Then if you need to, just Final Shine me away. But most of all, Barrier. And yeah, those are all like the new characters, so to speak. That just all have like some counter to Bojack. Some kind of counter. And that's not to say every character has a counter, okay? But I'm just, for this example, I'm frustrated because this character doesn't really offer anything anymore. Like, people outclass him in his ult now. Like, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah. So what they need to do, get this no vanishing BS out of here. Because every character now has some, like, movement ability to counter this no vanishing step. Or they have something else that allows them to just actively not care about this Psycho Thread. Take away no vanishing step. Give us old Psycho Thread back. 40% movement speed down. Hell, make it 50 at this point. Because this ability is not that good anymore. It's not. It hasn't been ever since they made it no vanish. They want to deceive you into thinking, oh, no vanish is so good. If this were like OG Gekishin without all these new characters, yeah. No vanish would be great. But guess what? Every new character, because that's all you really play nowadays, has a way to get out. You'll play against some 3Qs here and there. Literally just explosive strike or instant transmission, and they're out. They're out. Easy. You'll play, like I played against a few Gammas. You just have to hit your Gamma impacts is the big thing. That's it. Oob, you just dash. I think it disables dash though. I think this does disable. I could be wrong. I think it does disable this. I could be wrong. I forget the interaction. Other than that, I really don't play against like any of these characters over here. No Daimoku players, no Kale. Some Frieza, like you just Imperial Decree. Wow, easy. And then you also have like Dodori just to push back, or Zarbon to also outsnipe. Right. So it's just like Psycho Thread doesn't offer anything anymore. It genuinely doesn't. You have to be super caught out and super by yourself for this ability to actually do something against you. But if you have your teammate there, it's like, I don't. It's just, it doesn't do much. They need to trash it or give us old Psycho Thread, or they need to buff this, keep the movement speed down, keep the vanishing step, and then why don't you make it so it's invulnerable, so you cannot destroy subordinates? Now that really wouldn't do much, but in some scenarios it can. Would that fix Psycho Thread? No. I think one buff, you make the subordinates indestructible, invincible, you cannot kill them and cancel the skill. 1. 2, you buff the movement speed down. Buff it. That's just not enough. 3, more damage. This is just a debuff skill at the end of the day. Like, this isn't really doing damage. It's really not. And then finally, the biggest crime in this game is this ultimate. This used to be a good ultimate back when, like, the game first started. Like, this was your boss secure, or rather, it was just Spirit Bomb at that point. Like, it's just Spirit Bomb. Okay. But, like, this actually used to be a good ult. But now, you have characters that completely override it. Easily, if you're a good 3Q player, ult easily overrides it. Broly can. He can. Vegito, Kefla easily overrides his ult. Easily beats his ult in a contest of like, oh, you know, who's the better boss here? Easily. Oob easily outclasses his ult. Daimoku can. Daimoku can. He absolutely can. So it's like, 1, they need to up the damage of this. And 2, they need to make it more damage counter. See, it's duh. Kefla's is duh, right? In terms of, like, you know, enunciation, right? When you look at Kefla's ultimate here, okay? Look, watch. Hold on. Look how many damage counters she's getting. How quickly. She's doing a lot of burst damage on top of getting a bunch of damage counters, which means most of the time she will have priority in over securing. She will have priority over securing the boss because of Bojack's damage counters, his ticks. Look at his damage ticks. Now he has longevity, but he doesn't, like, his damage is okay with his ult. It's okay, maybe a little bit subpar, and it doesn't have that many damage ticks. And you can easily die during this ult. They need to trash this ult or rework it. Because this just isn't cutting it nowadays. They need to make it so you can have like a different formation maybe. So like maybe each of the subordinates like forms a square. And then you're at like the top and you make this little house shape and, you know, do something from that. You know, I don't know. They need to rework this to where you can move during it or you can have them do different formations. Or entirely you can exclude yourself after a certain point. Or if they want to keep you in it, that's fine. Just make it so we can move with it more. Or we can do different formations. This ult has been outclassed for so long now. And it's so stupid. I find it so dumb that even when I pop this ult, I will majority of the time lose. Just because of the simple fact there are other things that do burst damage or have more damage ticks. So, let's go back over what we've talked about. They need to buff this. They need to make it so it does more damage. And maybe you can choose which subordinate you want. They need to give him more HP early game. I've seen it. They've been buffing like Trunks and 18's early game HP. Now, granted, these are melee characters. They're not zoning, which is fair. But at the same time, literally, this character gets just annihilated, destroyed, just absolutely gapped early game. Like, literally, if you go against a like mid IQ Ultimate Gohan player who like at least knows his character, you're getting obliterated. Like you can't actually zone. It is so difficult to zone against this character. It's just so difficult. Because you have no tools to get out. Sorry. Then going against this character, you get Kamehameha. I didn't get hit with Nuevos, but it definitely can happen. And then you just get dashed at. So, let's, again, we need to buff his early game HP. We need to make his follow-ups do more damage. And so you can choose them, which follow-up you want. I think Galactic Buster's great. I think it's been great ever since I buffed it seasons ago. To where it does more damage. I think it's awesome. They need to just annihilate this ability, and if they're gonna keep it, they need to buff, majorly buff, or well, not majorly, but buff, like a moderate buff to the level 1 and level 2, or just trash it and give them a new ability. But they're not gonna give them a new ability. Just rework this, bro. Like either give it more mines level 1. Or have it do more damage level. Like they need to actually buff this level 1, so it's actually an enticing option to choose. I never choose this when I'm leveling up my base skills. I always go Buster Thread. That is literally the entire sequence, every single time. Buster Thread, Buster Thread, Buster Thread. Then when I'm forced to do Bloom, I do Bloom. Bloom is literally my last ability that I ever max. Because having this at level 1, I always like to hit level 2 with this as soon as I can. Because level 1 with this thing, it just is... We'll get to that in a second. So yeah, we need to moderately buff this or majorly buff this skill. It is not good. 3. Here, Thread. We need to make it so these guys are indestructible, so you can't just completely cancel the skill. And I would say you take away no vanishing, you revert it to old Psycho Thread. So it's actually like threatening. Even with using it in a movement ability or like LBJ, like especially because every character has like a movement ability nowadays. There's something that like gets them out, or rather doesn't get them out but kills the opponent. For example, I'm talking about like Kid Buu specifically here with that example, right? Or Frieza, right? You don't have anything to get out as Frieza, but you can just grasp, rock, and then now you're fighting this Bojack close range. Kid Buu, you get hit with the Psycho Thread. All you have to do is hit a leg hook. You bring the Bojack to you. Bojack really can't do much. And then you can Noisy Chest Drum after the Psycho Thread ends, gain HP, do a bunch of damage, and then even ult if you need, right? Same with Frieza. Okay. So I think you take out the... You just stop with the Vanishing Step. You give it old Psycho Thread, maybe even buff it to like 50 or 55%. Nothing over 55% in my opinion. Maybe 50%. 55%. Movement speed down. Maybe make it do a little bit more damage because it really doesn't do any. And then you make the subordinates invincible. And now it's actually a good skill. You've got actually a good potential to catch somebody out despite using movement. And it actually does damage. And you can't just blow it away with like some AoE ability. Like you can't just, you know, cancel it. Like I've had matches where this, like my abilities could just completely blown off the face of the earth. Because it gets ulted or, you know, it gets AoE'd somehow, right? Now, there are a lot of times where my Psycho Thread doesn't die, and that is quite a common thing. Doesn't die, it's perfectly fine. But in team settings, this ability can easily just get wiped. So, and finally, this is just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, make it so, 1, we can move. 2, there's more damage ticks. 3, you can buff the damage. Like a little bit, maybe a little more than little, maybe like a moderate amount, a mid amount, okay? But definitely a little bit amounts of buffing for damage. Like I said, more damage ticks. You can move. More damage. And finally, I would say different formations. Have some kind of setting where you can do different formations. So you're not stuck doing the same formation every time. Although, to be fair, with the moving thing, that could replace the formations, so you can just move during your ult. That way, you don't have to, like, perma be stuck in a spot and just die, going against sensible players. So, yeah. Those are my gripes and issues with this character. It's just, like, the character's fun when you can dominate, but, like, it's just, like, it does, like, I don't know. You have to play super, super careful early game. And if you do not get, like, all the attack, like, all the attack divine draws, like, it's just, it's just, like, you're not doing damage. You really aren't. Especially Snowball. Snowball for this character, I feel like is almost needed. Almost. I really haven't seen another build where people don't run Snowball in this character. Maybe Lightning, but... yeah. Those are my thoughts. Toshi, like, please buff this character, dude. Like, I just don't understand why you guys don't ever buff him in any patches. Like, why? His win rate cannot be 50%. I promise it cannot be. Unless you're looking at specifically, like, top-tier players. Maybe, but, like, even in top-tier lobbies, I don't think this guy's getting a 50% win rate. Maybe that's an oversight on my part. Probably. But just looking at this character, after playing him for so long now, I just don't see the value in a lot of these now. Like, I just don't. I don't. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I overreacting? Am I underreacting? I'd love to hear your thoughts. just wanted to go on a rant here because I genuinely hate how they've done this character and they refuse to do anything with this character. Don't even get me started on the lack of skins. Nothing. And don't even bring up that movie boss's argument. Same with Cooler. Cooler doesn't get anything. No skins. Okay? Broly got a Turles skin. Broly gets a Turles battle suit. Where's Turles? Okay, he gets a Turles battle suit. Look at this. Look at this. Hold up. He also gets Infinite skin. And guess what? Does he have a... Yep. Lightning Infinite skin. Now, granted, that's not a different costume, but still. Where's the Bojack Infinite skin? Where's the Cooler Infinite skin? Why? Where this guy's... Like, this is the only skin he has to me. Everything else is lame. Like, I'm not using that. 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 Nope. 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 I'm just always using the Santa hat, which is default, but with the literal Santa hat. Also, where is finisher attacks? Team finisher? Where's his legendary emo start? Where's his legendary emo victory? Although I like this one a lot, so. Where's his legendary emote MVP? But I say MVP just because I don't have this one. I really like this one a lot, but I think it'd be cool if he had a legendary one where like he was full power, but still. I just don't know. This game refuses to give me Sqaudra Show Curtain Call, and I hate it, so. But yeah. Don't even get me started on skins, dude. You can give Broly a Turles skin, and you can't even give this guy an Infinite skin. Like, yeah, dude, okay. It's been so many seasons, and you just, okay. Anyhow, sorry about that little mini rant right there. You guys get my point. Hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Left Man with Tuesdays is out.
Clockwork 227, good things like blockworks. Making a new resume, don't get stuck on my past works. Riding in that Mustang, I'm just trying to see how that blast works. These chains keep the evil away. You know that bitch lurks. Birds of paradise, we flock together. I've been strapped in